is good. Please can you give me 3 cards? One for Libra's person, the one that's on their mind. One for their actions towards this person. And one for the impact that it's going to have on this person. So first of all, one to represent Libra's person. Right, we've got the fox reversed. So, I love this card. The fox upright is about being cunning, having caution and self-care. So it's trying to be wise, trying to be clever. Reminds me of like the Hanged Man energy, because it's like not rushing in, trying to see things from a different perspective, taking stock, you know, making yourself find stillness. But it's reversed. So it's like maybe they're rushing, maybe they're in a rush and they're like, they're not taking stock, they're not trying to see things from different perspectives, they're just like restless, they're foolish, you know, like chaotic energy or stubborn energy. So your person is like lacking vision at the moment, they're lacking like problem solving skills, they're feeling stubborn, defensive, they could be very quiet or they could have gone a bit antagonistic. What about their actions towards Libra? The Knight reversed. So they could have you blocked at the moment. You see, this is the image I had in my head upright for this one, because it's like chaotic, rushed, urgent, makes you think of the Knight of Swords energy where they're going too fast, the horse is going to fall over, you know, they've got that sword ready to swing, they're delivering a hasty message, it's like, you know, just throwing the words out, like barely time to breathe. Maybe the horse stumbles and falls over because they got it going so fast. It's like, make haste, you know, like such a rush. Urgency, but it says energy, arrival, action. So that's reversed. So the opposite of action is inaction. It's stagnancy. You know, the opposite of high energy or fast pace is slow pace. Stuck, stagnant, or backtracking. Yeah, so their action is to backtrack or to be stuck or stagnant because they're very stubborn and perhaps feeling like mentally trapped. You know, they've kind of like lost control of their emotions, like there's like fear, anxiety, so they're isolating themselves, they're taking a step back from you, they're pulling away, something like this. What will be the impact on Libra? The Moon reversed, so you know, you're gonna like struggle with your intuition, you're gonna doubt yourself, like, why have I put myself together with this person, why have I been loyal to this person for them to then grow distant from me or push me away, put everything on the line for them, or, you know, I've really like, you know, tried to be there for them, why am I, you know, turning myself into knots for this situation? Because when the Moon card is upright, it's about using your intuition, following what you want to do rather than what you think you should do. It's following that gut instinct and allowing to dream and walk forwards, knowing that we don't have all the answers, but just trusting that everything's going to work out. this is like, you're going to be like, well, I don't want to like do that, or I feel like I'm silly for doing that now because, you know, I don't feel like close to you, this kind of thing. What is this person's next actions going to be then towards Libra? The Eight of Pentacles. Right, so they're going to do a 180 and they're going to realise like that they've got quite a loyal person in you. And that they're going to want growth, they're going to want to level up to meet you halfway, they're going to want to, you know, be the equivalent of whatever you are and not feel like a burden. They don't want to be a burden, they want to grow and expand so that you can be equals. Okay, so this is all about investment. You see Pentacles and money, time and energy. And 8 is the future, it's growth, it's like taking courses, adding more skill sets, gaining more trades, starting a business, you know, or expanding to like franchising or something, you know, like it's growth and it's building for the future. So their next actions is to find ways to do that. That's what they wish for. And he looks very solemn, doesn't he? He's exhausted, but he's got those overalls on and he's taking a break, but it's like, this is just going to happen. I'm just doing it because sorry, it needs to be done. Advice for Libra, please. I think we've had these kind of emotions for your person for a while now. Like, there's passion and there's like this sense of wanting to work hard and an incredible pride and stubbornness about that. It's very important for this person's like ego to stay intact, and if it doesn't, that's no good for them. They need to feel like, you know, it's very like traditional to say this, but like they need to feel like a provider. They need to feel that they're doing their half or more. They need to wear that hat, you know, because it would be like offensive to this person's like self-esteem if they didn't, and they wouldn't be happy being with someone who was non-traditional. They are traditional, and that could be based on a certain culture or religion or background, upbringing, part of the world that they're from. It's like centric, it's like centre to all that they are. Central, sorry, it's central to everything that this person is. It would be like shameful not to play that role. So they don't have bad intentions. It's not personal. People's reactions or opinions of me are really not about me at all. People tend to project their own insecurities or fears onto one another. So when someone speaks unkindly to me, I remember they have something going on that has nothing to do with me. So this person, every fibre in this person's being tells them like, you are a shit human being if you don't fulfill this objective, if you don't, you know, spend almost all of your time working and trying to provide and, you know, bringing home the bread. being a provider is like, do you understand, like they would have a full identity crisis and never get over it. It's just opposite to everything they stand for, to kind of be a freeloader. So if they're in a position where they feel that that's happening and they're becoming useless or a burden, they will hate themselves more than anybody else could. I know that sounds really dramatic, but I think that's like important to a lot of people in life. Some people know, definitely some people know, but a lot of people are incredibly like, they're not work shy, they're workaholics, and they love a good, honest day's work and to come home and feel that they deserve to rest, to feel that they have worked really hard, even if they worked harder than they needed to. They want that sense of like, when I do relax, I fully deserve it. And there's a section of people out there, plenty of people out there that don't bother about, wanting that feeling. They just, if they can feel it or be a homosexual, they will. But this person's not about that. And so they could be very like emotionally unstable if they're struggling to grow and expand, and for any period that is the case, they will be very, very difficult to be around. You have to allow people to feel that way. You should not deny someone's feelings and say that, don't negate them and say, no, you don't feel like that, because you don't want them to be upset, or it's not a problem and I'll just pay, or they don't want to do that. So you have to allow people to be distressed when they're experiencing shitty times, and when you don't allow them to feel what they're feeling and you try to control how they're feeling because it doesn't suit you, that kind of backfires. So let people feel how they're feeling, and just agree that it's shit that they can't pay their way, or they can't earn how they want to, or have stability and security how they wish to, or do you know what I mean? Just agree that it sucks. And somehow their luck is going to change, or better times will come, and this is a bad phase which everyone has. Like, some kind of like wisdom like that will be helpful to kind of just dispel any blame or shame or negating how someone feels when they're frustrated about their own situation. Right, I'm going to leave that one there, Libra. I hope that resonates with some people out there and helps you to better understand what your person's going through, and that it's not your fault. If there's arguments or words out of turn or tones that are unpleasant, they almost can't help how they're being at the moment. Of course, if anyone was ever physically violent, that's not acceptable, or if they were emotionally abusive, it's not acceptable, but they can't be necessarily stable when they feel like everything's upside down in their life. So it's about like allowing people to be how they're feeling. Please give me a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, and I'll see you in the next one.